Welcome back to another MMA main card live show. It has been a hot minute, ladies and gentlemen, but let's get right into it. Today we do a breakdown of the bantamweight division, ladies and gentlemen. Let's check out the bantamweight division, with obviously the champion being Aljamain Sterling, and he's already got a fight booked weeks, I tell you, weeks after winning or regaining his bantamweight title against Aljamain Sterling. There was some controversy because he said he wasn't ready to get back into it, but I guess Dana White and the boys made the decision for him and told him he's fighting. I guess in a way he was ready. So I don't know. There was a whole bunch of bullshit going on where Sterling saying he had I forget if it was an arm or leg or some issue. Aljamain was saying on his show that he's pretty much going to have to do more rehab during this camp, if anything, instead of getting ready for Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley probably needs all the time he can get, since we all know his takedown defense ain't the greatest. Striking is his thing. So for Sean O'Malley, I mean, he gets a good 2 months or so. What is that? August 19th. For Sean O'Malley versus Aljamain Sterling. But this is mainly about the rankings today, or we're looking mainly at the rankings today, mainly the ranking. That's what the whole show is about today. Since there is no UFC card today, I don't believe there's Bellator or none of that today. There is one boxing fight, which is kind of crazy to say. Usually there's 1 or 2 or 3 shows going on. There could be BKFC, not Burger King, bare knuckle show. I mean, bare knuckle fighting. There could be that going on, but I'm not sure. I don't know if it's I don't think there's any of that going on either, to be honest. Unless you're into all that slapping, the slap by Dana White. If you're into that, then there could be some. I think that was on Wednesday. I don't really watch any of that schlap. Not into any of that either. If anything, I'd watch BKFC. But that whatchamacallit would be nice to watch. That boxing match. I'm not even sure who's fighting, but I'm probably gonna end up watching it since there is no MMA on today. There is no BK. There is no Bellator 1. There could be one. I'm not sure if one is on, but whatever. But back to the number one, or the ranking for bantamweight division. Merab Dvalishvili is the number one contender, homeboy of Aljamain Sterling. So you got two friends at 1 and 2. This is not similar to obviously Darren Till and Hamzat's situation, because Darren Till was nowhere near contention, and Hamzat is not even fighting in welterweight anymore. But Merab Dvalishvili, I believe he also has an injury. It's I don't know how many times I've heard him talk about it, but Henry Cejudo, right after the fight, ended up calling him out, and that ain't working out because he's injured. If anything, I'd wait, everybody pretty much is saying that he should wait. One reason is Aljamain Sterling is going to fight one more time. Sean O'Malley, make some money, get that shmoney. Aljo gets that shmoney. Then, he has, I don't know, he's brought it up a couple of times. He says he wants to go up and fight Alexander the Great Volkanovski, but I believe Yuri versus, or Rodriguez versus Alexander Volkanovski is happening first. So what if he loses that title? Then he's probably going to want a rematch, which I don't know. I don't see Alexander winning that, because I watched the Max Holloway versus Rodriguez fight, and Max was piecing him up with the shoulders. So you got that situation going on. If he wants to go and try that double champ situation, which I don't know. He could. I mean, he's most likely going to if he beats Sugar Sean O'Malley, unless Sugar Sean can catch him. That's the thing that O'Malley has. I mean, everybody thought it was going to be a one-sided fight when he fought Peter Yan, but then again, Peter Yan hasn't been so great for a hot minute. So you got that situation. Somebody was like on Twitter or Instagram, they're like, "Oh, Peter Yan's about to make one of the greatest comebacks or whatever the fuck he's gonna do, or he's gonna have one of the greatest comebacks, end up winning the title and all this other shit." But he's been shit or so far or as of late. So we'll see what the hell happens there. Then you got Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo has called out Merab Dvalishvili. So Merab, number one contender, can't really do much since he's injured. Sugar Sean's got Sterling. Corey Sandhagen, there was the thing where he was going to call out, or he did call out Merab as well. But like I said again, Merab Dvalishvili is injured. So if you got an injured man, you can't fight him. So that's 2 out. So unless they decide, fuck it, let's just do Henry Cejudo versus Corey Sandhagen, which I wouldn't mind seeing. I'm not sure if Corey Sandhagen versus Henry Cejudo has happened already. Then you got one of my favorite fighters, Son Yadong, who's actually at 8, who recently beat Ricky Simon, who could. Actually, he called out Marlon Vieira, and he called out Sean O'Malley during his last fight against Ricky Simon. Then you got Umar Nurmagomedov, who Dana White and the bar seem to like a lot. And nobody really wants to fight him because he's dangerous. I don't think people would be willing to fight him, but he is dangerous, and I don't know if anybody wants to take that risk at the moment, since he's got that wrestling factor. I believe he jumped over Ricky Simon after Ricky Simon took that L. Then Pedro Munoz. It's been a while since Pedro Munoz actually fought Sean O'Malley. I forget who else he fought after Sean O'Malley. So that right there is question mark with him. Dominic Cruz obviously took the punt from Marlon Chito Vera. So that situation for him, he's coming off of a knockout. I don't know who Dominic fights. Dominic probably gets Sang Yadong, maybe. I'm not sure on that. But that would be going backwards. Again, I'm not sure if Dominic and Song have already fought. I'm not sure on that either. Or the one that probably makes more sense is Rob Font Song, which I'm not sure if that's happened either. I would have to look at the schedules, but I don't believe that one has happened. So that one, out of all the bantamweight fights, makes the most sense, I believe, since UFC fighters don't like going backwards. They like going frontwards. Or they like going forwards, ladies and gentlemen. So you got so Song somewhat has options. He can either go backwards or forward, which I believe he's most likely gonna want to go forward, since Rob had a pretty impressive fight too. Who was it? Adrian Yanez. It was Adrian Yanez, where he knocked out Adrian Yanez as well. So I'm not sure if I've actually watched Chris Gutierrez. I probably have. Anybody in the top 15, I believe I've watched. Sometimes they just go over my head, I end up watching the fight. I'm like, I watched dude. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Because I've said that a lot, where I'm like, I haven't watched this dude yet. I don't know where the hell he came out of. And then I watch him, like, I've watched a good amount of his fucking fights. The hell wrong. But that's where Song goes. For the top 10 fights, that's the only fight that seems clear and cut. Either he gets Vieira again, Marlon Chito Vieira again, or he decides to take Font, which is kind of weird that the rankings, when you're in the tops, it's hard for them to, not hard for them to change, it just doesn't change as much. But then with Ricky Simon, Adrian Yanez, most likely that could be a matchup where it makes sense. They both have just taken L's. I believe they both got knocked out, so neither fighter, most likely neither mate can fight in the next 2 or next 6 months. So that could be quite a bit of time away. But for Nurmagomedov, most likely Pedro Munoz, since he's 10-11, and Munoz needs a big win. which, I mean, if he can get one against him, you know, Dominic gets another L, probably bumps him up, which makes sense, right? Yeah, it makes sense. Jonathan Martinez, not too sure about Jonathan Martinez at the moment. He's most likely going to be fighting backwards unless Gutierrez decides he wants to fight him as well. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole rankings right now. Pretty much waiting for UFC 292. We're not 100 if that. I mean, it's so far away. I mean, it's 2 months, but still, it's still far. UFC wise, it's still far away. If fights could be a week away, and that's still far the fuck away. 2 weeks is a long time in UFC. A day could be a long time in the UFC, for God's sakes. Remember that Hamzat Chimaev, Kevin Holland, all that fucking card where everything got demolished and they literally had to start from scratch. That was in a couple of days, for the God's sakes. One weight miss can do a lot of things, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of things. But yeah, so that's pretty much the whole situation with the bantamweight division. Most people say the best division in the UFC, ladies and gentlemen. So we got a good amount of injuries, good amount of fights. Not actually a good amount of. There's not that many fights that are set up, unless I'm missing something where I haven't looked at the schedule. Let me look real quick, see if any fights are actually set up. Maybe Gutierrez is actually already in a fight or has a fight set up. Not seeing anything at the moment, so hoobity hoobla. Nope, nothing. Sean Strickland, no, we ain't looking for Sean Strickland. Mandem. Josh Emmett, Ilya Topuria should be a good fight, but nothing in the bantamweight division. Still seeing nothing. So a lot of these fighters, I'm guessing, are going to be needing fights, but a lot of them have fought in the past couple of weeks and all. I'm not seeing anything scheduled for bantamweight division. Maybe a prelims. Let's check out the prelims since there is a smaller douche. Still seeing nothing. Well, Chris Curtis again in the UFC 289. That's crazy. They put him in the early prelims again. Y'all messing up, UFC. That's one of the most exciting fighters in the fucking division, or any division in the UFC. One of the most exciting fighters, I believe, because man can strike. And he had fight of the night. That's I don't get the UFC sometimes. It's a bit here and there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't see any fucking anything scheduled for any of the bantamweight fighters, which is kind of wild. Unranked guys most likely, but I don't see any. Maybe I'm missing some. There's another Nurmagomedov, but it's not the one I'm talking about. Daniel Santos, no. Johnny Munoz, not Pedro Munoz. Another bantamweight, but not that. Not what I'm looking for. But yeah, I think I'm going to just go ahead and call it, since I've pretty much said everything I wanted to about the bantamweight division, and this live was about the bantamweight division, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, I'm looking forward into seeing which one of these fighters will be matched up with each other. My biggest guess, and I feel like that should be the fight, is Rob Font Sanyadong, unless they fought already. That or Pedro Munoz, Nurmagomedov. This is it's basic UFC science or math, where 11 versus 10, either 9 versus 8, Dominic Cruz, Sonya Dong, or 8 versus 7, Rob Font. And fighters, like I said, usually don't want to go backwards, so we'll see. But that was pretty much what I wanted to do. Close to 15 minutes or so, and yeah, thanks for watching live, and we out. That was the main card, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all have a good